Good day, everyone. I will be discussing another world religion, which is Taoism. So, section 1, which is the regions and sacred texts, Taoism is another world religion that is native to China. So, yung Taoism na religion around the world is nag-originate and nag-root sa China. Generally believed to have been founded by Laozi. So, pinaniniwalaan na ang Taoism ay tinatag ni Laozi. So, sino nga ba si Laozi? So, yung Taoism ay kinukompose ng 2,777,000 around the world. Taoist people around the world. So, yung 2,765,000 ay matatagpuan sa part ng Asia. And then, yung another 12,000 ay makikita na sa North America. Sa part yun ng Canada and Mexico. And then, ang Taoism ay malakas sa mga bansang Hong Kong, Taiwan, and other overseas community, Chinese community, which is the Malaysia and Singapore. And then, Laozi. Laozi, also known as Lao Tzu, was a historical figure who once lived in China around 640 BCE, and he wrote the whole of Tao Te Ching. So si Laozi ay isang historical figure sa Taoism. So, pinaniniwalaan si Laozi na siya yung sumulat ng foundational text nila, which is yung Tao Te Ching. Ang pangalang Laozi ay nangangahulugang old man, old child, or old master. So, bakit nga ba tinawag siyang old man, old child, or old master? So, Laozi was a product of virginal conception. So, kaparehas lang siya sa Christianity, which is na walang natural father, si Jesus Christ, which is through the power of Holy Spirit na napuntis si Mary. That's why ganun din yung nangyari kay Laozi. But he was conceived by a shooting star, not by a power of spirit. He was in the womb of his mother for 62 years before he was born. So, kaya siya tinaguriang old master or old child dahil 62 years siyang nasa sinapupunan ng magulang niya. Which is, nung pinanganak siya, ay tinuring na siyang old o matanda. But, he is still a child. Pero, matanda na siya. And then, the name Laozi is, in the world of learning, means old master or old scholar. An honorary title given to a highly venerated teacher. So, tinagurian siya sa world ng education, world of learning na old master or old scholar because he was a highly venerated teacher. He was a highly venerated teacher and a well-respected old scholar. Dahil nanungkulan siya as librarian, curator, archivist, or record keeper at the Royal Library at Chu for many years. That's why he was also entitled for his name, which is Old Master and Old Scholar. Now, let's move on to Tao Te Ching and Chuang Chu. The Tao Te Ching or the Laozi is the most important text of Taoism. So, ang Tao Te Ching, ang tinuturing pinaka-importanting text o kumbaga sacred text sa lahat ng Taoist people because it is also called the Laozi and also ito yung pinaka-foundational text ang foundational text ng Taoism. And then, Tao basically means way. So, when we say way, we came agad about path, daan. So, The way and its power, yung Tao basically means the way and its power, the classic of the ways, virtues, true classic of the way and the power. So, sa book ng Tao Te Ching ay binubuo ng 5,000 Chinese characters and 81 short chapters which are arranged into two sections. Yung Tao Te Ching ay binubuo ng 5,000 Chinese characters at 81 short chapters which are arranged into two sections. Which is yung Tao Ching na kinokompromise ang chapters 1 to 37. And yung Te Ching, kinokompromise yung chapters 38 to 81. Next, Chuang Chu. So, yung Chuang Chu ay isang book din. But, Chuang Chu is a person or people. Is a human. So, si Chuang Chu is isang Chinese philosopher who lived during the 4th century BCE. Chuang Chu was a minor official from the town of Meng in modern Anhui in the state of Song. So, minor official siya, but hindi siya major. Itinituring si Chuang Chu as minor official ng isang province sa China, but hindi siya kinoconsider as major because kakasabi ko lang na minor siya. Now, Tao Te Ching is the book that has been called Chuang Chu after the name of its recognized lead writer. So, yung Tao Te Ching na book ay considered din as Chuang Chu because of its recognized lead writer, which is si Chuang Chu. And then, scholar with si Chuang Chu ay isang scholar with a comprehensive scope of learning but who prepared the view of Laozi. But, so, yung pag-iisip ni Chuang Chu ay malawak, but he still considered Laozi's view because after all, Laozi is far above him. Yung stories niya is in a form of short stories. And tinagurian siyang greatest prose writer of the golden age of Chinese philosophy. Tapos, yung Chuang Chu ay binubuo ng 33 chapters which are divided by modern scholars into 3 parts. Yung inner chapters, consisting of chapters 1 to 77, written by Chuang Chu himself. And then, yun yung tinatawag na the core Taoist teachings of Chuang Chu. And then, yung outer parts consisting of chapters 8 to 22 na sinulat ng followers niya. At in-elaborate yung inner part by Chuang Chu. And then, yung last is the mixed part consisting of chapters 23 to 33. Written by, ito yung sinulat ni Chuang Chu and his followers. Ito yung combination na ng inner and outer part ng Chuang Chu. Now, let's move on to Lei Zhu. Si Lei Zhu yung pangatlong third greatest Taoist thinker in the history of Taoism. The pure classic of the perfect virtue of simplicity and vacuity. So, tinuring siyang the perfect virtue, yung kilala siya sa perfect virtue and simplicity and vacuity. Now, let's move on to philosophical Taoism. Yung philosophical Taoism regards wisdom as a purely philosophical system. Consider all this book as purely philosophical works. So, yung books na nabanggit ko kanina, which is yung Tao Te Ching, Chuang Chu, and Lei Zhu, is considered lang as philosophical works ng Taoism. But in religious Taoism, niregard yung mga book na yon as sacred text. That's why, or sacred text or divine, dahil ito ay part ng Taoist canon, or also called as the Daozang or the Taozang.
And now we will discuss about the I Ching. It is the book of changes. It speaks of the natural way of harmonizing the opposing forces in nature in terms of principle and of the yin and yang. So yin and yang circle. The the one figure is light representing yang, dark representing yin. Yin is the dark force of principle, yang is the light force. The dark figure will eventually turn light with a dark dot. The light figure will eventually turn dark with a light dot. The yin and yang is also called the law of reversion. Tao Te Ching Chapter 2, translation by Mitchell, 1995, described as follows. Tao Te Ching, Chapter 2. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other.
Philosophical Taoism regards Taoism as a purely philosophical system, considers all these books as purely philosophical works. Ang philosophical Taoism ay isang philosophical na sistema na nabumula sa sinaunang China at ito ay nakatuon sa konsepto ng tao. Ang tao ay isang salita na naglalarawan ng hindi maipaliwanag ng pangunahing lakas o daan ng natural na pag-irad. Sa ilalim ng philosophical Taoism, ipinapahayag na ang pagkakaayon sa natural na kilos ng tao ang nagsisilbing daan patungo sa kapayapaan at harmoniya. Tinatangkilik din ito ang pagiging simpleng buhay at pag-iwas sa pagsusumikap na kontrahin ang lahat ng bagay. Ti and Hui to refers to the power to bring the two into realization. It means virtue, both in the sense of moral character and the power to act. Hui, which literally means no action. Hui particularly means detached actions. Hui also means living in harmony with the flow of nature, never resisting it. Ti means virtue. Hui means effortless actions. Ti in Hui refers to the power to bring the Tao into realization. It means virtue, both in the sense of moral character and the power to act. Hui, which literally means no action. Hui particularly means detached action. Hui also means living in harmony with the flow of nature, never resisting it. Ti means virtue. Hui means effortless action. Sa konteksto ng philosophical Taoism, ang Ti ay tumutukoy sa moral na bisa o moral na kapangyarihan. Ito ay ang natural na moral ng lakas o pagganap ng tama na nagbubunga ng harmoniya at kapanatanan. Ang pagsunod sa Ti ay nagreresulta sa pag-unlad ng tao patungo sa tamang direksyon sa buhay. Sa kabilang banda, ang Hui ay isang konsepto na nangungulugang non-action o effortless action. Ito ay hindi isang pangunahing konsepto ng kalawan ng gawain, kundi ang pagtanggap at pag-ayon sa natural na daloy ng buhay nang hindi pinipilit ang mga bagay. Ang Hui ay naglalaman ng idea ng pagkilos ng walang persang pilit at ito ay nagdudulot ng masusing pag-unlad nang hindi kinakailangan magsanay ng labis na persa o kontrol. So ngayon is meron tayong the 3 jewels and ito ang 3 jewels. Una is the 3 virtues known as the 3 jewels or 3 treasures of Taoism. 3 virtues are compassion, moderation or simplicity, and number 3, humanity. Ang 3 jewels sa konsepto ng Taoism, itinutukoy ang tatlong pangunahing virtu o kagandahang asal na ituturo ng paminsang-minsan na tinatawag na 3 treasures. Ang mga ito ay compassion o pagkamapagpalang. Isa itong virtu ng pagiging mapagmalasakit at pag-unawa sa pangangailangan ng iba. Ang pagpapakita ng awa at kabaitan ay mahalaga sa Taoism sapagkat ito ay nagdadala ng harmoniya at pagkakaunawa sa mga ugnayan. Pangalawa ay moderation or simplicity, katamtaman o simpleng buhay. Ang virtud na ito ay naglalarawan ng kahalagahan ng pagiging hindi labis sa lahat ng bagay. Ang Taoism ay nagtuturo sa pag-iiwas sa labis na pagmamayabang, kasakiman, at iba pang uri ng kasaysayan. Sa halip, itatago dito ang simpleng pamumuhay at pagiging kontento sa mga pangunahing bagay. Pangatlo, humahaliti o pagiging abang. Ang bertod ng kababaan ay nalalaman ng kalagahan ng pagpakumbaba at pagtatanggol ng kahalagahan ng bawat isa. Sa pamamagitan ng pagiging aba, ang tuwis ay nagsusumikap na mawala ang ego at maintindihan ang mas malalim na kahulugan ng buhay. Ang pagtataguyod sa mga three jewels ay nagdudulot ng pagpapalalim sa pag-unlad ng individual na aspeto ng moralidad, spiritualidad at pagkakaroon ng mas ugnayan sa kapwa at kalikasan na naglalayong makamit ang harmonia o kapanatanan sa buhay. Taoist deities. Taoism is a polytheistic religion. It is said that there are thousands of Taoist deities. Some are spirits of nature occupying rivers, streams, and mountains. Some represent different powers of the universe. Some are holy men who are believed to have achieved immortality. They include emperors. Some are ancestor spirits who are usually regarded as protective household gods. Taoist beliefs include reverence of the spirit of nature, representation of universal powers, veneration of holy men achieving immortality, and acknowledgement of ancestor spirits serving as protective household gods. The emphasis is on harmony with the Tao, a fundamental principle rather than a conventional god. The three pure ones. Number 1, the Jade Pure One, Yan Shi Tianzun, or the primeval Lord of the Heaven. He is believed to be residing in the heaven of jade purity. He is described as eternal, limitless, without form, the source of everything, and the administrator of heaven. He is the highest Taoist. The Jade Pure One, or Yanshi Tianzun, also known as the primeval Lord of the Heaven, is a central figure in Taoism, believed to reside in the heaven of jade purity. This deity is described as eternal, formless, and the ultimate source of everything. As the highest Taoist deity, Yanshi Tianzun is considered the administrator of heaven, embodying limitless and transcendent qualities within the Taoist cosmology. Second, the Supreme Pure One, or Lord of Luminous Treasure, Lingbao Tianzun. He is associated with the principle of yin and yang and is considered the source of Taoist knowledge and scripture, the Tao Te Ching. The Supreme Pure One, also known as Lord of the Luminous Treasure, Lingbao Tianzun, is a significant figure in Taoism associated with the principle of yin and yang. This deity is regarded as the source of Taoist knowledge and scriptures, including the foundational text, the Tao Te Ching. Lingbao Tianzun holds a pivotal role in Taoist cosmology, embodying the essential principle of balance and wisdom within the Taoist tradition. And last, the Grand Pure One, or the Lord of the Way and its virtue, Tao Te Tianzun. He is believed to have been manifested or incarnated in the form of Lao Tzu. He is depicted as having pure with bird, symbolizing his being an eminent age ruler. The Grand Pure One, or Lord of the Way and its virtue, Tao Te Tianzun, is a significant Taoist deity believed to have manifested or incarnated in the form of Lao Tzu, the legendary philosopher, often depicted with a pure white bird symbolizing wisdom and eminence. Tao Te Tianzun holds a central role in Taoist cosmology, representing the embodiment of the way, Tao, and its virtues.
The Eight Immortals. First, Chang Li Chuan, Zhong Li Chuan, a form general depicted as having a burning belly and carrying a magic wand that can change stone into special materials that can revive the dead. 2. Chang Hu Lao Chang Hu Lao, a form hermit and his wand is eccentric depicted as having a log which bears a donkey backwards. 3. Lua Tang Lu Dang a forefather, internal ascending with the skills in poetry, calligraphy, spelling, and wordsmanship. 4. Li Ting Kuai, Tai Gua Li Iron clutch depicted the figure with a creepless leg and an iron heart. 5. Liu Huachu. How Wu Liu, a former emperor who, fleeing corruption, turned into the hermit and is depicted as being dressed like a government official. 6. Hu He Shanggu, a female who after become immortal after eating an alchemical mixture made a promise or remaining a virgin. 7. Han Xia Tizu, Man Shangli, a musician, a magician who called made flowers grow and is depicted as holding a flute, being regarded. Also has a patron saint of true prayer. 8. Lan Tishao Hu, Lan Chai, a male but also depicted as a female wearing a single bond and sleeping in snow. Other deities. The Jade Emperor who rules heaven and earth and who judge people action at the end of every year. The emperors work hardly on earth. He has official, also gods who look after the spiritual and material welfare of humans and report to him at the end of every year. 1. The divinate in a pilgrimage. 2. Queen Mother of the West. 3. For heavenly emperors. 4. 3 divine officials. And 5. Thunder patriots. Female district. Mother Li, the mother of Lord Lao. Mazu, the patron of fishermen. Rumu, the mother of the big keeper. The way of celestial masters. The way of the celestial masters. Then Shi Tao, also called way of orthodox unity. And 5 packs of resets, which was founded by Chang Taoism around the 2nd century. The first institutional Taoism, the first Taoist sects, Lao Tzu, when they refers to as Lord Lao. Chang Taoism, the founder of the way of the celestial matters, he transformed Taoism into an institutional religion. Lord Lao conferred on Chang the title Celestial Master. One of the practices was the recitation of the Tao teaching, which they believed would produce power to see spirits, call illnesses, and prolong life. The way of Celestial Master, Chang Chi Fu's own movement called Way of Peace spread Taoism in northern China. Chang Yu worked for the movement to have political power.
Taoist practices. Also, Taoist meditations. Meditation in this sense promotes both spiritual and physical health. Number 1 is embryonic breathing. This technique physically requires the practitioner to hold his or her breath for extended periods with the goal of harmoniously relating with the divine ties or sacred elements of one's body. It is believed that if one does not practice meditation, the divinities that inhabit one's body will leave, causing one to get sick. Number 2, the inner alchemical meditation aims to calm and empty the mind and circulate chi, referring to life energy. This can be done sitting cross-legged, sitting in a chair, lying down, or walking. It can be done using mantras, like relating the word Om, focusing on an object, or simply focusing on one word. Number 3, Tai Chi or Tai Chi Chuan, a popular Chinese form of exercise and martial art that is closely associated with Taoism. It aims to harmonize the principle of the yin and yang into a sequence of slow and flowing movements with carefully prescribed stance and position. The goal, the goal is to stimulate and harmonize chi for health, vitality, and self-defense. Tai Chi has many branches which promote this different style practices. No two masters teach exactly the same style of Tai Chi. Number 4, Feng Shui. Generally a system of harmonizing everyone with a surrounding environment. Refers to the practice of choosing or configuring a structure or site in order for structure or site to be in harmony. The spiritual force that inhabit it. One important application of theory is called Feng Shui, which literally means wind in water. This is the art of arranging objects and space, office furniture, houses, graves, an awareness of the flow and movement of qi through a certain area. A Feng Shui master will give advice on how best to design the building and its landscape or arrange its office furniture so that the flow of qi will benefit the people living or working here. Number 5, Taoist alchemy. Generally refers to the transmutation of one substance or a combination of substances into another substance, especially one that is more valuable, powerful, or imbued with paranormal properties. Taoist alchemy is practiced in two ways. External alchemy, Waitan or Waidan, which involves the mixture of different physical substances outside the human body, such as minerals and herbs, and swallowing elixir to combine. Alchemy is practiced in a way. Also, this the second way. Internal alchemy, Natan or Nadan, which involves harmoniously cultivating K energy inside the human body. The original practices of Taoist alchemy was the external one, but because this led to serious injuries, sickness, and even deaths due to poisoning, the practice of external alchemy today is limited to those considered safe and that promotes health. The internal kind became the alternative way to practice alchemy, which also happens to be more with Taoism as the way of harmonizing with the Tao. Number 6, Qigong. In the practice of internal alchemy is also called the practice of Qigong. One taps into 3K energy to the human body, namely vital essence, Qi or Ji. The energy in the lower field or the abdomen, which is completely identified with productive fluids. Qi or Qi I, the generic energy in the middle field or the chest, which is completely identified with air, breath, and emotional states. And spirit or Shin, the energy in the upper field or the head or the up, which is completely identified with the mind and access to spiritual being. Qigong These three elements correspond respectively to the follow three form energy: reproductive energy, force energy, and spiritual energy. Taoist meditation, also Taoist festival. Taoist celebrates the birthday of its various gods and goddesses on certain days following the lun, the lunar calendar. Taoist festival. Some Taoist festival are celebrated in Taoist temples. Some are generally Chinese festival, such as the Chinese New Year, the Festival of Lanterns and Dragon Boat Festival, the Ghost Festival, and the Mid-Autumn Festival.
Now, I will be discussing the Feng Shui, one of the Taoist meditation and Taoism. So, yung Feng Shui ay generally assist sa harmonizing everyone with the surrounding environment. So, ang Feng Shui ay nagpo-focus about sa environment na kung paano niya ito ma-arrange correctly. And then, one important application of Qi theory is called Feng Shui. So, yung Feng Shui sa Qi theory is literally means wind and water. And sabi pa dito, ayon pa sa book, na ang Feng Shui ay isang art of arranging objects. So, meaning, nag-focus siya sa mga objects instead of sa mga tao. Ang tinatawag naman na nakamaster ng art of arranging object is Feng Shui master. So, sila yung nag-a-advise on how to design your house correctly para ma-align yung swerte sa bahay mo. Or pumasok yung maraming swerte para tuloy-tuloy ang blessings every year. And then, we have here the Taoist alchemy. It generally refers to the transmutation of one substance or a combination of substances into another substance, especially that is more valuable, powerful, imbued with paranormal properties. So, yung Taoist alchemy ay parang yung albularyo, yung gumagamit sila ng maraming substances to form another substances para makabuo sila ng gamot na pwedeng panggamot sa mga taong may sakit na kakaiba or paranormal properties. And then, sa Taoist alchemy, pinapractice ito in the two ways. Yung external alchemy. Yung external alchemy, yan yung mixture na nagmumula sa different physical substance na tinatawag na substance outside the human body and swallowing the elixirs. Ito yung kino-combine doon sa physical substances outside the body. That's it. And number 2 is the internal alchemy, which involves harmoniously cultivating key energies inside the human body. So, kino-cultivate ito yung energy. Nagpo-focus ito sa energy inside your body instead of focusing on your physical one. So, sa externals, yung different na external one and internal is that yung external one is nakitaan ng maraming symptoms na naglilid sa serious injuries, sickness, and even death due to poisoning and practice of external alchemy. Alchemy today is limited to those So, yung external one ay kino-considered as serious and mapanganib. Kaya nag-focus sila doon sa isang Taoist alchemy, which is the internal kind, became the alternative way to practice alchemy, which also happens to be more in tune with Taoism as a way of harmonizing oneself with the Tao. So, tinuring yung internal as the alternative way dahil mas safe itong gamitin compared sa external one na naglilid sa sickness, deaths, and even serious injuries. That's why Taoist people prefer the internal one. Now we have here the Qigong. And the practice of internal alchemy is also called the practice of Qigong. One taps into the three keys energies in the human body, namely vital essence, Qing. Itong vital essence ay nakikita sa part ng abdomen which is concretely identified with reproductive fluids. So, malapit siya sa abdomen natin and ina-identify niya yung mga fluids na malapit dun sa abdomen natin. And then we have here Qi. The generic energy in the middle field or the chest, which is concretely identified with air, breath, and emotional states and so yung Qi ay makikita sa part ng middle part ng ating body, which is the breathing of air and kung saan nagmumula yung mga emotional states ng tao. And then we have here the spirit, which is the Shen, the energy in the upper field or the head or brain. It is concretely identified with mind, personhood, and access to spiritual beings. Yung spirit is matatagpuan sa head, na kung saan ma-identify yung mga iniisip ng tao, kung ano yung pagkatao ng isang tao and other spiritual beings na meron sa utak ng isang tao. So yung tatlong elements na yun na binanggit ko is nagko-correspond dito sa tatlong form of energy, which is the reproductive energy, life force energy, and spiritual energy. So, yung unang binanggit ko is about reproductive energy, yung sa abdomen. Yung second is the life force energy, which is the breathing of air. And yung spiritual energy is yung about sa spiritual or yung Shen.
And now we will talk about the Taoist festival or Taoist meditation. Taoist festival. Taoism celebrates the birthdays of its various gods and goddesses on certain days following the lunar calendar. Taoist festivals. Some Taoist festivals are celebrated in Taoist temples. Some are generally Chinese festivals such as the Chinese New Year, the Festival of Lanterns, the Dragon Boat Festival, the Ghost Festival, and the Mid-Autumn Festival.
Now let's move on to section 3, the denomination and challenges. First, we have here the philosophical and religious Taoism. The philosophical and religious Taoism is considered as the two general form of Taoism. So, yung philosophical Taoism or Tao Chia and religious Taoism or Tao Chiao ay dalawang magka-contradict. So, sa philosophical Taoism, si Lao Tzu ay pinaniniwalaan lang na historical figure pinaniniwalaan lang na isang historical figure na human being na isang philosopher who happened to be Now let's move on to section 3, the denomination and challenges of Taoism. So we have here the philosophical Taoism and religious Taoism. So yung philosophical Taoism and the religious Taoism is considered as the two general forms of Taoism. And then yung philosophical Taoism and the religious Taoism ay dalawang magka-contradict sa isang bagay. Well, dahil sa philosophical Taoism, pinaniniwalaan na si Lao Tzu ay isang historical figure lamang at isang philosopher who happened to wrote the full Tao Te Ching. While on the other hand, yung religious Taoism, pinaniniwalaan nila na si Lao Tzu is a god and a divine manifestation of the Tao who forms part of the three pure one. So, pinaniniwalaan na part siya ng three pure one, si Lao Tzu. Next is philosophical Taoism. Sa philosophical Taoism, pinaniniwalaan na yung Tao Te Ching and Chuang Tzu ay isang philosophical works lang. While on the other hand, sa religious Taoism, ito ay sacred text which along with other religious texts constitute the Taoist canon. Sa religious Taoism, naniniwala sa mga Diyos. While on the other hand, yung philosophical Taoism, hindi sila naniniwala na may Diyos. O hindi nila nire-regard yung sarili nila as as naniniwala sa Diyos. Kaya minsan tinatawag yung mga naniniwala sa philosophical Taoism as atheist and agnostic. Sa philosophical Taoism, sa kaibahan ng philosophical Taoism and religious Taoism is nagpa-practice sila ng both types of some types of meditation, but only religious Taoism lang yung nagpa-practice ng mga rituals o yung mga tinatawag nating mga pang-albularyo. So, yung philosophical and religious Taoism regards as necessary aspects or features of Taoism as a world religion. So, pinaniniwalaan silang yung religion at philosophical Taoism as a feature of that Taoism. Naniniwala sila na nakakonstitute yung philosophical aspect while pinapractice nila yung religious aspect. So, to make the philosophical Taoism shorter, yung philosophical Taoism is pinaniniwalaan na nandoon lahat ang main teachings ng Taoism nakasulat, referring to the period in which the works of Lao Tzu, Chuang Tzu, and Lei Shu were written. While the other hand, your religious Taoism is the period when religious practice, rituals, and organization. So, yung religious Taoism is nagpo-focus about more on rituals and sa practices na naniniwala rin sila sa God.
So now we will be discussing about the major Taoist denominations. The first one is the ancient form. It's the way of the celestial master. The second one is the modern forms, are the way of orthodox unity and the way of complete perfection. The third one is the way of orthodox unity, generally sees itself as modern version of the way of the celestial master, while the way of complete perfection does not. The way of celestial masters. The way of celestial masters, also called as Ten Shi Tao, means way of orthodox unity, and 5 pecks of rice sect, which was founded by Chang Tao Ling around the 2nd century. It is the first institutional Taoism. It is the first Taoist sect. Lao Tzu, whom they referred as Lord Lao. Next, Chang Tao Ling, he is the founder of the way of the celestial master. He transformed Taoism into an institutional religion. Lord Lao conferred on Chang the title Celestial Master. One of the practices was the recitation of the Tao Te Ching, which they believed would produce powers to see spirits, cure illnesses, and prolong life. Next is the way of Celestial Master. Chang Che, whose own movement called Way of Great Peace, spread Taoism in northern China. Chang Lu, who worked for the movement to have political powers. Movements in succeeding of the way of Celestial Master. The first one is the Great Purity or Great Clarity, also called as Tai Ching, whose revelation, among others, introduced the practices of alchemy. The second one is the highest purity or highest clarity, which also called as Shangqing, whose revelation, among others, developed elaborate theories about different realms for spirit of the dead, the deities that occupy those realms, and the other worldly processes for movement from one realm to another. And the third one is the highest purity or highest clarity, which means also called as Shangqing. This is the second meaning of the highest purity of highest clarity.
Now let's move on to way of orthodox unity and way of complete perfection. So, yung the way of orthodox unity is a siyang liturgical and ritualistic branch that is more common in southern China and Taiwan. While on the other hand, yung the way of complete perfection o yung the monastic branch is more common in northern China. Yung Orthodox unity, Taoism, is more common on Taiwan and southern parts of China. While on the other hand, yung complete perfection Taoism is more common in the northern parts of China. Yung Orthodox Unity's institutional center is a palace of great purity in Kangxi, while complete perfection's institutional center is the White Cloud Monastery in Beijing. Yung Orthodox Unity Taoism traces its history directly to Chang Choling and sees itself as continuing the generation of celestial masters. So yung Orthodox Unity ay nakikita yung yapak directly to Chang Choling na nakikita yung sarili na magkukontinue ng generation ng celestial masters. While on the other hand, yung complete perfections, Taoism developed much later in the 12th century and is not interested in the line of celestial master. So, hindi sila interesado sa nasumunod sa yapak ng celestial master. Unlike sa Orthodox Unity Taoism na susunod sa yapak ng celestial master. Yung Orthodox Unity priests are not usually affiliated with a specific temple. They perform their service for hire, sometimes at a local temple, by families or communities. So, yung Orthodox Unity priest, wala silang specific na pinagsasambahan or yung temple na tinatawag sa China na kung saan ino-offer nila yung services nila for free. But, they offer free services sa ibang karatig na mga bayan para ma-perform yung mga tinatawag nilang mga services or spiritual services na tinatawag sa Orthodox Unity priest. While on the other hand, yung complete perfections or monks, nuns, and priests are usually teaching or training in specific monastery. Through they may leave and continue their work elsewhere at other temples or return to lay life, sometimes spreading their teaching to other lay students. So, yung complete perfections, yung monks, nuns, and priests doon ay mayroon silang specific place to conduct their services, their spiritual services. Their spiritual services or para mapanatili nila yung spiritual beings and ma-share nila yung mga nalalaman pa nila sa other lay students na gusto rin maging monghe, priests, or nuns. Sa Orthodox Unity priests usually marry and have children. They live very much as ordinary members of society. So yung Orthodox Unity priests ay nagpapakasal at namumuhay ng parang normal lang sa isang syudad dahil hindi katulad sa ibang mga religion na pinagbabawal na mag-asawa yung isang pari. Katulad na lang ng Romano-Katoliko na hindi sila pinapayagang mag-asawa dahil ito ay nakakasagaba lamang or hindi sila nakakapag-focus sa kanilang ministry. While on the other hand, yung complete perfection monks, nuns, and priests generally practice celibacy. They usually live as cloistered monastics. So, pinapractice nila yung celibacy na para ma-align dun sa monastic nila, sa cloistered monastic nila. And then yung Orthodox Unity priests generally do not follow the austerities you might associate with monastic. They may eat meat, drink alcohol, and cut their hair like a lay person. So Orthodox Unity priests, so parang namumuhay lang silang normal na tao na kumakain ng mga mga hindi pwede sa ibang religion, which is yung sa Islam, hindi sila kumakain ng or yung mga Muslim, hindi sila kumakain ng baboy dahil marami itong nakakapagdulot ito ng maraming sakit. Sa other religion, hindi sila kumakain ng umiinom ng alcohol beverages or liquor dahil pinagbabawal yon sa religion nila. And then there's this religion din na pinagbabawal na mag-cut ng hair because hindi nila, para ma-practice nila yung bawal, unlike sa other religion na bawal nilang putulin yung buhok nila. While on the other hand, sa complete perfection, monks, nuns, and priests practice traditional monastic austerities. They generally grow their hair long and tie it up in a bun under their hats. They're supposed to refrain from meat and alcohol. So, yung sa complete perfections, marami sa kanilang pinagbabawal na hindi pinagbabawal sa Orthodox Unity. Katulad na lang yung pagpuputol ng buhok ay masyadong banal sa kanila, and then yung pinagbabawal rin sa kanila yung pagkain ng mga pwede sa Orthodox Unity priest. Now, let's move on to challenges of Taoism. So, one of the challenges of Taoism is external alchemy and internal alchemy. So, yung external alchemy, referring to the use of external substances, chemicals, minerals, and herbs to come up with elixirs for immortality. Previous practice resulted in poisoning and eviction deaths. So, yung external alchemy ay hindi na nila gaanong ginagamit ngayon dahil naging challenge ito sa kanila dahil maraming nag-results ng serious injuries, deaths, and other poisoning na naganap doon sa mga mixture na pinaghalo-halo nila. Mga substances na pinaghalo-halo nila. And yung internal alchemy ay naging alternative nila sa external alchemy. Dahil ito ay hina-harmonize na lang yung mga basic energies of your body, but not the other substances. So, in the recovery of Taoism in China, after it was almost abolished during the early years of the communist takeover in the country. Ito yung mga panahon na sa recovery stage pa lang sila during the war. And the popularization of Taoism in the West, just like in the case of Buddhism, which deviates from the original conception that Taoism is practiced in China. Gender issues are generally not a challenge to Taoism. So, hindi challenge sa kanila yung gender issues. There are goddesses and Taoist deities. The characteristic traditional associated with women are encouraged in Taoist philosophy, like softness, flexibility, passivity, and modesty. So, pinapractice, ito yung mga characteristic traditionally ng mga babae sa loob ng Taoism. Sa loob ng religion na Taoism, na maging soft, flexible, positive, and modest. The Taoist principle of yin and yang promotes harmony between opposing forces in terms of gender. Yin is associated with femininity and yang with masculinity. So, lagi na tandaan na ang yin and yang ay connected but lagi silang opposite. For example, yung night and morning, and then yung sunrise and sunset. Lagi silang magkasama but opposite sila. There are also Taoist nuns and women's priests and teachers. So, hindi lang lalaki yung sumasalang sa ganong mga tungkulin. Pati rin yung mga babae. That's all. Thank you.